Good afternoon. My name is Erica. I'm going to be talking to you guys today about tobacco use. I hope you all are doing well. So, smoking remains the leading cause of preventable death in the United States. Um, we're going to talk about the additives in tobacco products. So, tobacco products harvest many chemicals and additives such as nicotine, formaldehyde, ammonia, hydrogen cyanide, and acetone, and much more. So here's some definitions of some of the chemicals that are added into these tobacco products. So nicotine is a powerful additive that is highly addictive and is found in these tobacco products. So formaldehyde is a colorless pungent gas in solution made by oxidizing methanol. Ammonia is a colorless pungent irritating gas used chiefly in solution as a disinfectant and preservative in chemical synthesis. Hydrogen cyanide is a colorless, rapidly acting, highly poisonous gas or liquid that has an odor of bitter almonds. Acetone is a colorless, violet, liquid ketone made by oxidizing, used as a organic solvent in synthetic reagent, which all these chemicals are found in tobacco products which you are ingesting once you put any of these in your mouth, such as dip, smoking products, etc. So all these chemicals can cause different conditions. So the conditions that tobacco use can cause, but are not limited to, are cancer, COPD, asthma, stroke, and much more. So here is a graph of the annual deaths from smoking in the United States. If you'd like to just take a look at it for a minute, we can see that lung cancer is roughly 29%, and which is pretty large and significant to a population as a whole. More than 480,000 deaths are from cigarette smoking every year. Tobacco use is very terrible for you and your body for many reasons. It's a highly addictive chemical and it's hard to come off of once you have started, just like anything like alcohol or any substance that can be addictive. And it can also be worse if you have an addiction gene that runs in your family. And these byproducts of tobacco use can cause huge environment problems such as pollution by throwing away the plastics and butts of cigarettes and other products onto the ground. So, tobacco use usually starts at a young age. So, the media targets children and young adults. The U.S. adult exposure to information about the health effects of tobacco was associated with addiction beliefs from tobacco products. So this just portrays a huge, terrible problem for the young, and it gives them wrong and misleading information about tobacco. Since they have changed the law from 18 to 21, this has changed and made it a little bit more difficult for the younger generation to actually purchase tobacco products. Um, but vaping is the new trend in this generation, and people often think that vaping is actually healthier than smoking, but that is not entirely true. There is not enough information to also back up this claim. So, vaping products contain propane glycol flavorings, and other chemicals, usually nicotine. And then going back to how we don't have enough information backing up that vaping is actually better than cigarettes is data on short-term health effects are limited to, and there are no adequate data on long-term effects. Aerosol exposure may be associated with the respiratory function impairment, and serum containment levels are similar to those in traditional cigarette smokers. The high nicotine concentrations of some products increase exposure risk for non-users, particularly children. So this is really bad to ingest in general, especially for younger adults and even children. So our biggest issue is that tobacco has become a huge problem across the world. It's terrible for you and people around you and also the environment. So people are actually unaware of the health risk, and tobacco use ads are often misinformed. By informing people with the right information, the cut down on tobacco use will be drastic, and this will be a good change for the better. So, the solution to this problem is one of the biggest solutions that tobacco use in addicts is to help them become clean. And the first big step into solving this problem is having people donate money to cause and raise awareness for the problem. So the base start of the solution is to inform people about the health risk and the information in depth behind tobacco products in general. So after the people are correctly informed, then from there we can actually implement a much bigger plan for us to see changes. So with the solution being continued, the next step would to be to implement an NA program, which stands for Nicotine Anonymous, which is kind of like AA meetings, which is Alcohol Anonymous, but in this sense, it is nicotine related. This would allow people to get the help that they need. The program would be implemented through the community and posted on a newsletter for the town. The startup for the NA meetings will need representatives and money. This can be achieved by a numerous tasks by bake sales and car washes, yard sales, donation, and much more. The donations and all the small benefits will be the startup for the cause, but it will not continue to be the amount of money that we're needed. So there would be a more funds that would be need to come up. So after the small startup, there would be people to continue donating or have an establishment supporting the cause, such as here we have Logan Aluminum that would donate quite a bit of money that they do to like school programs and other things. So a big establishment could, have a donation program. So this program will specifically help those in need who are struggling with addiction and who are wanting to stop. So in these meetings, people will talk about their struggles with addiction and share their experiences that they had had. This allows people to open up to one another in a safe environment where people just don't judge each other. The meetings would also be held every day. People do not have to go every day, but if they choose to do so, they are able. The program is going to be completely free with everything that is said between the people stays within the group. And the teacher that is going to be the main person is someone who's already went through the steps of becoming clean. So they have already went through addiction and they know what people are going to be feeling. So talking about our rebuttal, a lot of people actually believe that smoking is not that bad for you. Like it doesn't there's not that many health risks is what people believe. So the issue with this is that many people believe that smoking is not as bad and is not as a huge issue, claiming that there will be no negative impact on the establishments that choose not to allow tobacco use inside, or that the tobacco use industry will cut all kinds of people out of jobs, or that it will simply just hurt people in general. However, that is not the case. There are many ways that people can still use tobacco products, and the people that choose to do so can use their products whenever they want, however they want, just depending on the certain place. And if this is the case, they can choose to go to smoke before they go in or not at all in these establishments that have their no smoking rules. So after this, after understanding the health risk and the information of how terrible tobacco products are, people can actually understand that smoking and using these tobacco products are actually bad for you. They can take this information from what they had thought they had known before, stating that um, tobacco products weren't that good for you. After them reading and understanding the actual big risks of it, they can take what they know from there and then implement it and do that. So here's my works cited page for that. And I thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.